I'm going to say something I have not said since 1986. This new Alien movie is good. It's good. It's genuinely good. Like, it actually makes those xenomorphs scary. And I like the characters, and the set pieces are awesome, and it's good. The new Alien movie is good. It's good!
Alien invasion problem?
Be sure to join us on the VHS Vault for a special look at Alien Romulus here on the Jason Roy Gaston YouTube channel. Hey, what are you doing? Stop it!
No. Alien Romulus is a 2024 horror science fiction movie and the newest installment in the Alien franchise. It's also the first Alien movie since Disney laid eggs down 20th Century Fox's throat and Mickey Mouse burst out of its chest. But don't let that deter you, because apparently the mouse knows exactly what he's doing. And since Disney owns this franchise now, that makes the Alien Queen a Disney princess. In this Disney Alien movie, we meet a band of dregs eager to escape what is basically indentured servitude on a Weyland-Yutani mining world, where everything is muddy, everyone is dying, and everything sucks. They make a plan to go on board a derelict space station to steal cryopods so they can make a long 9-year journey to an independent world. And they need to do this because their ship is really tiny, and that would be like spending 9 years in a minivan, or one family trip to Branson, Missouri. However, because this is an alien movie, the space station is infested with rude, slimy extraterrestrials, which is super inconvenient. Even more inconvenient, the station is only hours away from getting sandblasted out of existence by some icy planetary rings, which, in ways of outer space destruction, is a pretty original way to go. So now Rain, Andy, Tyler, Bjorn, Navarro, and Kay are racing against time to navigate the gigantic Romulus space station and escape before they are impregnated, bursted, and then exploded. And not necessarily in that order. Let me put it this way, folks. Don't get attached. Don't get attached at all. First, let me express my crushing disappointment at the lack of Romulans in this movie, even though they were promised to us. I have been waiting for a Star Trek Alien crossover ever since Dr. Pulaski appeared on Star Trek The Next Generation, and I fantasized about a chest-burster ending her miserable, data-hating existence. We were even promised a comic book crossover a few years ago before Paramount chickened out, and now we have Alien Romulans, and guess what? No Romulans! Where the frell were they? Was this some kind of Tal Shiar thing where they were manipulating events in the background just to get my ticket money? Because that is disappointing, but not unexpected. You know, they earned it. You can keep it. What is unexpected, though, is just how good this movie is. It is solid, it is efficient, and for the first time in decades, I actually feel fear from these monsters. There for a while, alien movies devolved into science fiction slasher films before Prometheus came along and promised something better before it devolved back into a slasher movie with Alien Covenant. Here the franchise gets back to basics with minimal CGI and keeping the beasties off camera as much as possible. Their presence are felt, you know they're there, but you don't see them until it's too late. Just like my cat. It is frankly amazing how such a slight change to the formula has made the storytelling and sheer terror of these movies so much more effective. I really hope Hollywood horror learns from this movie, but you know they won't. Another win for Alien Romulus is the characters. Every character has their own motivation, their own goals, and their own reasons for acting the way they do. And you know they're not all nice people, but you at least understand why they do what they do. Take the character of Bjorn, for example. Please. He's a complete douche canoe to poor Andy, who's this old and glitchy android that was programmed to take care of Rain, the main character, by her now dead parents, who got their dead working in the Weyland-Yutani mines. Andy is basically like a protective child and the most pure person in the movie, and Bjorn hates him and treats him like he's garbage. But through the course of the film, you understand why. And as a result, you understand the rage brewing inside of Bjorn. Now, you won't agree with it, and you won't like Bjorn, but Bjorn becomes a better character because you at least understand it. My favorite character from Alien Resurrection, yes, I had a favorite character in Alien Resurrection, was Johnner, played by the great Ron Perlman. Johnner was a violent ruffian who took great pleasure in hurting people and being an antisocial and possibly sociopathic unsalted walnut. Even though he was the highlight of the movie, never once did Alien Resurrection even bother to offer that tiniest clue about why he was the way he was. Johnner was two-dimensional. Entertainingly two-dimensional, but two-dimensional nonetheless. The only reason why I liked him was thanks to the sheer talent and charisma of Ron Perlman. That's it. He's what saved this character. Didn't save the movie. I mean, he's Ron Perlman. He's not Superman or Jesus Superman. Romulus understands the assignment, though. Bjorn is another inbred kumquat, but you can at least sympathize with him when you realize where he's coming from. Again, it's just a small thing, but it elevates the entire movie because every character gets this treatment. As a matter of fact, and I won't lie and say that I liked all the characters, because as I said, some of them are just skeevy Muppets at heart, and some of them are selfish and make life harder for everyone else, but I at least remember them. I can't say that about Alien Covenant, where even now, I don't remember a single one of those unglazed donuts in that complete turnip of a movie, because I cared so little about them. Almost as little as Alien Covenant did. I remember so little about the characters in that movie. I have it in my brain that Danny McBride was in that movie, and that's ridiculous. No one would put Danny McBride in an Alien movie. What I most enjoyed about Alien Romulus is that it is a film that respects what came before it, even if what came before it was not that great. Now, in the timeline, this movie takes place between Alien and Aliens, many years after Prometheus and Covenant. I went into this movie expecting a fresh reboot with only a tenuous connection to what came before. But Romulus is so steeped in alien lore that the events in Prometheus and Covenant actually matter. Which is surprising because I expected them to be completely ignored as, well, as they rightfully should have been. Love them or hate them, though I loved Prometheus personally, those two films are part of the Alien family, and I'm so happy that the people behind Romulus love and respect the franchise so much that they didn't sweep everything under the rug. The best part is, even though Prometheus and Covenant are important to the plot, you don't have to rewatch them because everything is explained organically via the story in Romulus, and it doesn't feel like an information dump. It's just good writing. Plus, you don't have to rewatch Covenant, which is good because that movie is just an apocalyptic dingleberry of a film. Ridley Scott, you owe me $7. I am also happy that one of the biggest influences on this film is not what you would expect, and this could be my own interpretation, so I could be wrong, but I'm probably not. But so much of this movie reminded me of the amazing video game Alien Isolation, where you're alone on a vast space station and you're getting hunted by a xenomorph. Intentional or not, Romulus captured the intense loneliness and liminal space that the game emulated, and to me, that only makes this experience better. Whether you're a player or not, it took what made Alien Isolation great and interpreted it onto the big screen. So you're either going to recognize it, or you're going to think, wow, this movie's scary. It also helps that the action of the movie is motivated by an omnipresent ticking clock, and so when the characters make reckless or what would otherwise be stupid decisions, it's not because they are stupid, but it's because they literally have no other choice. Do we really have to go down the scary dark hallway that I hear hissing sounds out of? Well, if we don't, we die. Do we really have to walk by these dangerous aliens and hope they don't detect us? Well, if we don't, we die. Do we really have to climb this perilous elevator shaft where death awaits us at the bottom if we slip and fall? If we don't, we die. It's amazing what an effective ticking clock does for a story and for the audience perception of the characters. It also helps that there are set pieces that take the lore of the Alien movies into places they've never gone before, and it's all done in service to the story. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything here, but the facehuggers are used in this film more than they've been used in any other film before, which, okay, first of all, they creep me out, all right? They're like freaky big spiders from Australia, and that's triggering to me as it is. But there's one scene where these freaktastic little freaks are used almost like proximity mines or ticks waiting in tall grass, and it's done in such a refreshing and smart way. And it's not just that, but the acid blood is used in new ways. Androids are used in new ways. This movie is clever to the gills with making old things new again. However, it's not all sunshine and roses, though, as Romulus does contain some questionable choices. Chief among them is the movie making itself a slave to nostalgia to the point that it deep fakes a character played by a dead actor to the point that it's distracting in every single scene that this character is in, and it's in the movie a lot. Let's just say that if you were bothered by Grand Moff Tarkin in Rogue One, you're going to be soiling yourself when you see how they resurrected this character. Some of the callbacks to the previous movies are subtle and handled very well. Others are glaring, like a flashing neon sign on top of a building owned by Elon Musk. We actually get a character repeating Ripley's famous line,
"Get away from her, you bitch."
Only the character in Romulus says it in the strangest way. The character saves another and then says, "Get away from her." And then almost 10 seconds later, finishes the line with the profanity, and not only is it awkward, but it's completely out of character for that person. I feel like we as an audience would have gotten the reference without that last word, and it wouldn't have been nearly as cringe. And that's not the only line of dialogue that serves as a callback. There are others, and they are awkward, but that by far is the worst offender. Let's talk about the final act of the movie, which I have mixed to negative feelings about. I'm not going to give out major spoilers here, but I can't talk about the last act without revealing a major plot point. And so, if you don't want to be spoiled, please advance to this part of the video and continue spoiler-free. You have been warned. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we get another alien-human hybrid, and I have thoughts, both good and mostly bad. First of all, the uncanny valley that the look of this creature exists in actually helps make it more scary and more off-putting than it would have been otherwise, but on the bigger hand, it just looks ridiculous, and it's hard to take seriously as a threat. I was thinking that maybe making the face of this monster look less human probably would have helped, or better yet, just abandoning the idea altogether, because the alien-human hybrid thing was a ship that already sailed with alien resurrection, which then hit an iceberg, caught fire, and then sank. We don't need it anymore. We just didn't. Why are the makers of the Alien movies so obsessed and fascinated by alien-human hybrids? Did working on this series of film awaken something in them? Welcome back to everyone who skipped ahead, and for them and for those of you who sat through the spoilers I just talked about, let me just close my thoughts by saying that the last 20 minutes of the movie represent the biggest problem with the film, and unfortunately it's a major problem, a blight on what is otherwise a very strong horror movie. And yes, Alien Romulus is a horror movie. It's the first genuine alien horror movie since the very first one, and that's a hill that I will gladly get chest-bursted on. Despite my problem with the last act that, I don't know, maybe some people won't even see as a problem, maybe it's just me, Alien Romulus is the best Alien movie since James Cameron's turn. I said it. I stand by it. I'm Jason Roy Gaston, and I approve this message. This movie is as scary as I hoped it would be. It is as tight and efficient as it needed to be, and despite what I said was a last act misstep, it's a triumph as far as Alien movies go. Not only does it prove that there is still life in this franchise that I love so much, although it's been hitting me since 1993, it shows that with the right creators behind it, any wavering franchise can be brought back to greatness, and that is a sunbeam of hope for many. Jason, Freddy, there's hope for you. Just wait until the right person comes along. God, I sound just like my mom. And you, sitting and watching this on your phone, or game system, or Roku, or computer, or Amazon Fire, you could be the right person to become a Patreon. So a hearty thank you to John Borg, James Gibbons, and Bradley Amiel Julian. Yous guys can be on my Alien Isolation team any day of the week, but only if I get to play the alien. It's just that it helps me suppress urges that would one day land me in prison. If you would like to send me a pittance every month and help me create original content like Jason Watches, Saturday and His Amazing Friends, Will It Tumble, The VHS Vault, The Power of J Skull, XXL Men, Jalapena, and Breaking Wind, plus something new that I'm working on, and I hope I'll be able to get off the ground soon, you can support my channel for as little as $5 a month, and it will get you all kinds of exclusive content, including dramatic readings that no one else will ever see, and early access to my deluxe shows. Just click the link in the video description below, or click on this thing right here that should be right here right now. If you're not a subscriber, why not become one now by pressing that subscribe button, and then become an absolute icon by clicking that notification button so that you can be the first to know when I put new garbage on my channel. Did you know you can become a channel member and get these videos early? Look into that as well, and you'll be glad you did. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on this movie and the thoughts of my comrade in arms, VHS Jace, well, we've got a special episode of the VHS Vault ready for you. Because for the first time, we're taking a look at a current release film, Alien Romulus. We're gonna dig in there deeper than a baby alien and burst out covered in the movie's blood and innards. Bring the whole family. And then lock them out of the room while you watch it because you don't want any distractions. And be sure to join me next time to find out what Jason watches. Listen, I'm not complaining about the current state of the film, but I'm just saying Romulans would have been awesome in this movie. Because when you get Romulans in an alien movie, you get Klingons in an alien movie. And when you get Romulans and Klingons in an alien movie, you get Borg in an alien movie. And when you get Borg in an alien movie, you get Alien Borg. And yeah, Federation is screwed in that case.